Now, the murder trial of slain Bay mother Vicki Terblanche continues in the Gqeberha High Court on Tuesday. Vicki's boyfriend at the time of her death, Reinhardt Leach, is facing charges of murder and robbery with aggravating circumstances, as well as the illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Now, last week, the state, Dr Annemarie Mattheus, a specialist forensic pathologist, who told the court that Vicki died of multi-drug intoxication. SABC News reporter Lerato Fekisi has more for us.
We are broadcasting live outside the Gqeberha High Court where the case of murder accused Reinhardt Leach continues at Gqeberha High Court. After lunch, we saw the state bring forward Dylan Callis, who is one of the accused in the case, who has pleaded guilty to charges of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and also defeating the end of justice. You also understand that he did plead guilty to all the charges, currently serving an 18-year sentence. During his cross-examination, he told the court how he met Mr. Leach, that he met Mr. Leach through a mutual friend called Mario Delader, through a party they had, and at that party he said that the deceased Vicki Terblanche and Mr. Leach were very happy. In fact, she sat on his lap and they were having a good time. He then explained that they went back to Vicki's house, and he said on any given occasion when they were at Vicki's house they would smoke tick, they will smoke cat, which is a cheaper version of cocaine, and they would smoke mandrax, and that was the status quo. Anytime they were around Vicki's house, anytime they went out to smoke drugs was the order of the day. And anytime during a weekend when they were at Vicki's house, he did state that categorically they would play Xbox, and then they would take drugs, mandrax, cat and tick, and they would also be intoxicated with alcohol as well. He then explained that on the Monday following the party they had on Friday, with the first time he met Mr. Leach from a mutual friend, they then went into Vicki's house yet again. They smoked mandrax, did drugs. And then Mr. Leach said that they must go for a car ride. Callis then explained to the court how during the car ride, he then was told by Mr. Leach that he needs to purchase a firearm. And at that time, Callis says that he assumed that Mr. Leach wanted a firearm to assist him in the abalone business that him and Mr. Delader were part of. He then explained how a week before this car ride on Monday the 18th, Mr. Leach had received a call from someone asking for a gachi. And a gachi is a person who assists people in the abalone business to transport abalone within the sector. He then assumed that the gun was that, and then he assumed that what the gun was needed for. He then explained that Mr. Callis then explained that in fact the gun wasn't for the abalone business. In fact, the gun was to kill the deceased now Vicki Terblanche. Mr. Callis then explained how he was very confused, and then he said that Mr. Leach explained that Vicki was indeed in fact married and was going through a divorce, and the husband, Arnold Terblanche, allegedly then asked Mr. Leach to kill Vicki, saying that she was going to receive 5 million rand from the divorce, and was asking Leach to now in fact kill Vicki. Callis then explained to the court how he was very confused about this, and stated that he just thought that because they had taken drugs and had been intoxicated the entire weekend, that perhaps Mr. Leach was just under the influence and didn't take him seriously. He then said that after this drive where Mr. Leach had explained that he wants them to get a gun to kill Vicki, he didn't get the gun. Mr. Callis didn't get the gun, but in fact Mr. Leach got the gun, and then they got to the house. When they arrived there to the house, as per usual, they sat in the house. Vicki then approached them at the house. They sat in the couch in the lounge. They then proceeded to have mandrax, to have tick, to have dacha, to have cat with a cheaper version of cocaine. And at this time Vicki then called Mr. Callis to the bedroom. In the bedroom he explained how throughout the whole time while Mr. Callis and Vicki were in the bedroom, Mr. Leach kept going in and out of the bedroom, obviously saying that he was perhaps concerned and also feeling very insecure about Callis being in a room alone with his then girlfriend Vicki Terblanche. He then explained that when he was alone with Vicki, he did want to tell her about the conversation they had, which was plotting to kill her, but he didn't. We'll then carry on after lunch. We will hear really damning evidence that points allegedly to Mr. Leach and his role that Callis alleges he had in the demise and the death of Vicki Terblanche.